Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm hoping Missy stays in frame or gets more in frame, but she's a cat with her own mind. But it'd be fun to see her. But anyway, this is my April 2019 book haul. I was going to do my author's answer video tonight. It's a monthly thing I do on this channel, but in a little while I'm about to sit down and watch the Winterfell battle of Game of Thrones, and I think I need all my emotional capital for that, and this video will be a lot easier to make. I already scared Missy off the bed, alas. But anyway, another reason I wanted to do this book haul a little more quickly is that I got one of the books at National Independent Bookstore Day yesterday, and I even took some footage from around that event, and so I thought it would be nice to end the video with that. And I've been doing a lot of belated videos lately, but I'm trying to get more on track here and, you know, keep things a little more current. Anyway, this is a little bit of a shameful haul because I have so many books, and I was hoping to get away from that. I'm always hoping to have as many, if not more, library books. And in fact, I have some library books waiting on the hold shelf, but I figured I can't hide the fact of how many books I actually purchased this month. So we'll just go with that. Starting with this book, which I ordered off of Barnes & Noble last month and got here, I think, the day after I filmed my last book haul. This is Ariel Sampson, Freelance Rabbi by Manish Tana. This is a pen name of an African-American rabbi. I am reading this book because it was a finalist for the debut fiction prize of the National Jewish Book Awards in 2018. Anyway, I will read from the back. Ariel Sampson is not just your run-of-the-mill anomaly, a 20-something Black Orthodox Jewish rabbi looking for love, figuring out life, and floating between at least two worlds. Luckily, it gets worse. Finding himself the spiritual leader of a dying synagogue and accidentally falling into viral internet fame, Ariel is suddenly catapulted into a series of increasingly ridiculous conflicts with belligerent college students, estranged families, corrupt politicians, hypophilic co-workers, vindictive clergymen, and even attempted murder. And also Christian hegemony, racism, anti-Semitism, toxic hotepism, and white Jewish privilege, because today ends in Y. But that's all the easy part. Because whether Ariel knows it or not, he's due for a breakthrough. Several, in fact. And he's about to find out whether or not he's strong enough to reevaluate everything he thought he knew about himself and own up to the things he didn't. Thought leader and provocateur Manish Tana turns his eye to fiction in this imaginative, semi-autobiographical novel, making Ariel Sampson, Freelance Rabbi, the most dazzling debut of an Orthodox Black Jew born on a Sunday at 2:24 a.m. in a Brooklyn hospital in 1982 that you will ever have the privilege of reading. So yeah, I think this is, maybe highly autobiographical, one of those maybe memoir-ish, novel-ish things, but it's definitely a unique perspective, and that was one of the things I was looking for in crafting my Jewish fiction published in 2018 list to read, of having a diversity of Jewish experiences, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing what he has to say about his. Next, I have a historical fiction novel. This is Ruby by Karen D. McIntyre, and I got this book also at the very end of last month when I attended the Maryland Writers Association's annual conference. And one of the perks of that conference is that people who have published their books can sign up to sell them in the ad hoc bookstore, and I wanted to support a local author. And this book interested me the most, so I will read from the back. When Ruby loses her job in Depression-era Norfolk, she boards a Greyhound for home. But that bus will take her, not to her family, but to shame and degradation, to a life she never envisioned. Escape from that misery eventually comes, and she seeks to rebuild her life while helping other women rebuild theirs. When your life, your world, falls apart, how do you survive? How do you triumph? So yeah, this is also a self-published work, and I don't read a whole lot of those, but I really wanted to give that a chance because I know more and more self-published authors are really putting their all into these books, and this one she even submitted and it won an award, so I'm really excited to get to this. But I wasn't done buying things the weekend of that conference, because right after that was finished, I vamoosed to a synagogue in Washington, D.C. that, along with the political organization J Street, was holding a commemoration for Amos Oz, the Israeli writer who died last year and was such an inspirational voice to, well, a whole lot of people, enough that they wanted to get together to commemorate him. There was so much going on. I'll link down to a video about it down below, or information about it. We had Natalie Portman, who wasn't there in person, but she was able to record a message, and she shared it, and we saw a little bit of the movie that she made that was inspired by his autobiography. And his daughter, Fania Salzberger, was able to fly in from Israel and address all of us, and that really was so heartfelt and enlightening to feel like he wasn't completely gone from the world, because, you know, his daughter is such a testament to him and such great memory to his legacy. And we had, you know, politicians and rabbis and so forth. It was just very moving, and little did I know, I really didn't know this, but Politics and Prose, the biggest indie bookstore in DC, was there selling a few of his books, and I got some. I am slowly trying to read through Amos Oz. This is a backlist, so I got this book, which he wrote with his daughter Fania. This is Jews and Words, which is sort of a think piece about the history and power of words throughout Jewish history. And then I actually bought his memoir, A Tale of Love and Darkness, which I had read a couple of years ago, but I'd gotten it from the library, and it was deeply moving, and it started me down the journey of reading more of his collection. So I feel like I should do a reread. Sooner or later I really have to do a reread. Also, this was the program for the Amos Oz event. Next, well, I was good for a while and I didn't buy anything, but then I ran across a snafu, because I've been reading for the BookTube Prize list. I picked 12 books off of the big Octafinals list that Robert from Barter Hordes and the people helping him with that prize picked out at the beginning of the year. And I've been reading them in chunks of 3 based on Octafinal groupings. And so I was reading from Group B and trying to get books from the library, but of course, since these books are new and often very popular, I guess it isn't always going to be easy for me to get them. And I found out that one of the books that I wanted to read this month just had a way too long of a holds list, and so I decided to go ahead and buy it. So I bought The Great Believers by Rebecca Makkai, which I've talked about and reviewed in earlier videos, and I really did enjoy it a lot, so, you know, purchase justified. I'm very happy about that. I also think my mom and my sister might like it, so I might be sending it off to them sooner rather than later too, but yeah, I guess it ended up being a good thing. And finally, well, I got the Makkai book from Kramer Books, because I was just downtown and for talking myself into buying it at the time. And as I said, I got the 2 Amos Oz books from Politics and Prose. So you can say that I certainly have supported my local indie bookstores this month. But then National Independent Bookstore Day came, and I felt like I couldn't help it. I still had to support someone else on the actual day. So I did, but I actually made it into a Mother's Day gift. I got this for my mother, Educated, a memoir by Tara Westover, because I'm sure many of us on BookTube certainly know very much about this book, and it was one that made a lot of best of year lists at the end of the year, so my mother heard about it through one of those and expressed interest, and I thought, well, I know they'll still be around at stores, and so I can go ahead and buy you this book. But at the same time, it is a little bit selfish, because this is a book that won the Reading Women Prize for nonfiction last year, and I'm slowly trying to read through the Reading Women Prize list. I still have to get through 2017 and then 2018, but when I get to 2018, hopefully my mother will still have this book, so I can snatch it back from her, at least temporarily. And that about covers it. I don't think I'm forgetting any of the books that I bought this month. I sure hope I'm not, because that's more than enough. You can find links to all of these books, their Goodreads pages down below. And did I say I got this from East City Books? I'm not sure if I said it, but I did. I was actually in the neighborhood because yesterday I actually was at the Library of Congress for the DC Public Library's Author Fest Day, which I'll be talking about in my next video for AuthorTube. But in the meantime, I thought I'd leave you with a video that I made of East City Books and also of the Capitol Hill area, because that's where East City Books is. And I figured that's the most popular DC neighborhood probably that people know about, so I hope you enjoy it.